Hello, I'm Magda from Little Creature. In this Amigurumi workshop I'd like to present you Rabbit Dude Keks, pattern by LittleOwlsHut. This is a big version of the rabbit, but some time ago LittleOwlsHut released the small version of the rabbit, and I'm going to present you the small rabbit in my next video. You see the first page of the pattern. The designer Svetlana Pertseva, skill level experienced. Section materials and tools. The designer used two colors, pink and white, 5 skeins of pink color yarn Baby Softy by Alize, and 2 skeins of the same yarn of white, and bright pink or red, a small amount for crocheting the nose and the inner mouth. Finished size of the toy is approximately 65 centimeters tall without ears and 95 centimeters tall with ears. Here is in inches, and when you are using the materials stated in the pattern. What about crochet hook? Crochet hook 2 millimeters, 2 ready-made eyes or beads or half beads, sewing needle and tapestry needle for needle sculpting, strong thread for needle sculpting, a stuffing and a piece of thick cloth to make the neck firmer, optional. Pattern is in USA terminology, and you may find the pattern in LittleOwlsHut Etsy shop. Links to the pattern is in video description. When I make Amigurumi Workshop, I always translate the pattern into Polish, but this pattern was translated by another person. You may purchase it on Etsy in LittleOwlsHut Polski shop. I'm currently translating the pattern for smaller rabbit, and it will be released soon. Now I tell you about the big rabbit. I used Alize Softy and crochet hook 2 millimeters, but as you can see, I made the rabbit not with the 2 colors, but with more colors I had in my stash. So I used approximately 2 skeins of red, 2 skeins of black, and 1 skein of blue, yellow, and beige. In some parts of the rabbit there is need to add shift stitches, and everything is explained in the pattern. Firstly, I crocheted a swatch to check the gauge for the toy to get the same final size as in the pattern. The diameter of the swatch is 4.5 centimeters. You see that the limbs are joined to the body, but I started crocheting from the arms with fingers. Firstly, it was separate, and legs with the toes, they were also separately. And in the pattern the designer firstly crocheted face details, the mouth, teeth, eyes, nose, and then head, and I left these parts for the end because I prefer to begin with the limbs. So now I tell you about the limbs. I started with the arms. I crocheted 8 fingers, 4 for each hand, then joined all the fingers into a hand, and the marker goes along the palm from the middle finger, so there is need to make shift stitches. The thumb was joined by crocheting single crochet through the stitches of the hand and the thumb, and then along the unworked stitches of the thumb in the next round. After crocheting the arms, I started the legs. I crocheted 6 toes. You see, big, middle, and little for each foot. Each toe has different size, so I added a note for the big, middle, and little toe to join them in the right order and make no mistake. Then I joined the toes into a foot, starting from the little toe, so we don't fasten off the little toe after crocheting it. Marker goes along the side from the little toe, that's why there's need to make shift stitches. I just mark it with a scrap of yarn to show you. In the pattern there is also information about stuffing. The arms as well as the legs should be stuffed firmly to bounce back when you bend them. You see changing colors. I kept the number of rounds stated in the pattern while changing colors, but I added the colors at choice and used more colors. In the pattern, there is written that you don't have to keep the marker straight when you change colors. The designer recommends not to keep the marker straight because it adds much to the rabbit's image. But if you want to, you may keep the marker straight. To make the color changes in a straight line, I didn't keep it straight for the arms and the legs. Let's look at this. I crocheted around. So I kept the number of stripes and the rounds, they should be changed, but I added the colors at choice. The pattern includes detailed photos with the schemes how to assemble hands and feet. Then I started the body. Marker for the body goes up the center of the back, and you need to align the marker with the shift stitches. Follow the instruction how to join the legs. You may join them with the feet pointed to the sides or forward. I chose pointed forward, so I started from the inner part of the right leg. The arms are joined in round 57, and be careful to join them with the thumbs facing forward. And you join the arms hooking through the stitches of the body and the arm, quite similar to joining the thumb. And the body with the arms and the legs is ready. The designer recommends to fold the last few rounds of the neck to the inside. At round 70, this is a folding, something like that. I need to check the proper round when I will sewing head and the body. And you may insert the piece of thick cloth to stiff the neck. I will see later while sewing the head if the neck is firm enough. I tell you about it later. You see the rest of the parts: face details, ears, tail. Firstly, ears. Marker goes along the back and you need to make shift stitches, and ears are not stuffed. Here is the marker. I marked the back, the tail stuffed with stripes, teeth made with Alice White color and stuffed slightly, eyes made with Alice White and blue. They are made in the similar way as the eyes of the fox Hans Fritz von Rosenblatt I presented you in Amigurumi Workshop number 18. I inserted safety eyes 16 mm in diameter after crocheting around the 10th, and you may also attach or glue the ready-made eyes, bits or half bits. The nose and the mouth, I made it using yarn art jeans, anti-cross and crochet hook 2.5 mm. Because I didn't have pink Alize, so I tried to replace it by yarn art jeans. Mouth are worked in rows and then joined while crocheting the head and the nose. Finally, I crochet the head, and the marker goes from the top of the head along the center front to the chin, and I mark it with the contrasting yarn to show you. And you need to make shift stitches, of course. I marked also the points for needle sculpting while crocheting the head. Regarding the description of the rounds, different colors are used for different types of markers, and 2 points of in the same round are counted from the stitch marker to the left and to the right. And for my head I choose the following colors. The first marker is yellow, the second is orange, third is red, fourth is beige, and fifth is blue, and sixth is pink here. And the neck markers, the first is green and the second is brown. I added stripes, and this is my version, because in the pattern the head is crocheted with one color. I had to adjust the colors because I wanted to use lighter colors for the face, and I hadn't yarn enough for this head. I've used the yarns I've got in my stash, as I told you, and I think that I added too much stuffing, but I need to check it while needle sculpting. You see the mouth is crocheted together with the head, hooking through the stitches of the head and the mouth. So here is the head. I hope that this head will look quite nice after needle sculpting. I don't know it yet, I will see. So what is to do next? I have to needle sculpt the muzzle following the detailed instructions in the pattern. Sew the teeth, eyes, nose onto the head, and the tail onto the back of the body. Sew the head to the body and stuff the neck firmly, and sew the ears. So see you soon, and I go back to work. Look at this, I've finished the rabbit. Final size of my rabbit is almost the same as in the pattern. What I did, I needle sculpted the muzzle regarding the marked points. Everything is described in the pattern. And for needle sculpting I used dental floss. It's really strong. Unfortunately I didn't have such long needle for needle sculpting, so I had to flat the opposite sides while needle sculpting. Then I sewed the teeth. Here you see the teeth, eyes, nose onto the head. I also sewed the tail between rounds 8 and 14 as stated in the pattern at the back of the body, and then I attached neck and head. To form the neck I used dark scraps of material. Actually I used this, but I have also these scraps. And I think that fiberfill stuffing would stick out through the stitches when the neck is stuffed really firmly, so I prefer to use these pieces of materials. And to put the neck into the head deeply, I used a double beige yarn to pull the yarn strong and secure it. Here is the yarn. It's not so visible, but a single thread wouldn't be so strong, so I used a double thread. And it's written that the chin should align with the shoulders when viewed from the side. What I did, I also attached a part of the chin, part of this head, to the body. I wanted to keep the head stiff, and it wasn't stated in the pattern. Just my idea for my needs and for the needs of my son. who is playing with the rabbit. And finally I sewed the ears. I folded the ears in half and sewed them together, and then sewed on the top of the head. You may keep the rabbit like that. So here is my rabbit, my version of colors. And if you made the rabbit, write in comment which colors you used. And I recommend you to visit LittleOwlsHut Etsy shop. There is a pattern for the rabbit. Subscribe my channel, visit my blog, there is a description of this Amigurumi Workshop. As soon as possible I'll present you the version for small rabbit. I'm crocheting the small rabbit currently and translating the pattern into Polish, so see you in next Amigurumi Workshop. I have lots of projects, a knitting project, crocheting project and sewing project also. I like to learn new things. Follow my channel, subscribe my channel, visit my blog, my Facebook page, and have a great crocheting time. Rabbit says bye bye.